Hello, today I'm going to be performing a front disc replacement on my 1998 Buick Lesabre. Most of the steps and general process should translate well to other vehicles and platforms, but I provide no guarantees. Alright, so let's get started. Alright, first step is to raise up your vehicle and place your jack stands. Never forget your jack stands because even if your jack doesn't fail, you might be having a smooth-brained helper with you who doesn't know the righty-tighty and lefty-loosey. Don't ask how I almost found out. So next up is to remove the tire. Now I'm popping off the hubcap cover from my wheel. As this is a 20-year-old General Motors plastic item, I'm going to be removing it very carefully because I don't want to break it and have to try and find another one. Now I'm breaking the nuts loose. A breaker bar isn't required, but strongly recommended. I'm sure with enough time and huffing and puffing I could remove these with a 1/4-inch ratchet, but I prefer to watch hard work than to actually do it myself, so more power to you. Now with the tire out of the way, it's time to extradite the brake caliper. On the back side, in my case, we got a 3/8-inch hex bolt to remove. A handy trick for getting these stubborn nuts and bolts loose is to firmly grasp your tool with one hand and then to hit on the back of the other hand with your other hand, so that way you can break it loose. Now we got to pry the caliper off. A pry bar would have been better used in this situation, but I was too lazy to look for it. With the caliper out, take the old pads out and compress the piston. There's a tool for this, but as I'm sure you guessed, I was too lazy to look for it and too cheap to buy another one. A vital step is to properly lube your caliper sliders. This will prevent the caliper from sticking, which will only lead to you having to do this job again sooner than if you did it properly. Next up is to remove the rotor. Just pull it off as if it were the rim and tire. Just as simple as that, really. Now that we've removed the old parts, it's time to open up and clean the new rotors with some brake cleaner. In an OSHA-approved environment, I would be wearing safety gloves and probably safety glasses, but since this isn't one, safety is only a suggestion. Cleaning the rotor is necessary for proper operation, as these parts ship with some sort of oil or rust preventative coating, and not removing that will lead to poorer braking performance than if done properly. For installing the parts, we're basically going to be repeating the same steps from before, just in reverse. When installing the new rotor, be sure to not touch it, and if you do, because it will likely happen, just clean it again with some brake cleaner. The brake pads in my case were a little bit tricky because of that retaining clip at the top, but just simply slip it on and then place the internal one inside the piston. Now reattach the caliper and bolt it on. Unfortunately, I don't have any footage of that because I forgot to hit record, but I'm sure you'll figure it out. Now, time to put the tire back on. I'm lazy, so I'm going to be using an impact gun just to spin them on quickly so I can properly tighten them down with the breaker bar. At this point, you're probably asking, shouldn't you use a torque wrench? Yeah, probably, but that didn't happen. This was frankly the scariest part because the plastic is just so brittle feeling. It really does not inspire confidence, but fortunately it did not break, so we're still good to go. If you made it to this part of the video, great job. Your brakes are replaced, and all that's left to do is to bed in the pads. You can look up how to properly do it, but all I've ever done personally is was a couple of semi-aggressive stops just to ensure that the pads get a little toasty and wear into the rotor. Don't go too crazy and overheat your rotors though, otherwise you'll warp them and then you're just gonna have to watch this video again. Thank you for checking out my video. I hope it was useful for you and proved to help you figure out how to change out your brakes. Naturally, call to action. Check out the other videos on my channel if they're posted, and if not, maybe check back in the future. Like and subscribe, all that fun stuff. Regardless, I just hope that this managed to help you and you found it useful. Thanks. Have a great one.